Now time for one of the most valuable tools in trig you can ever learn. It's called the unit circle. All right. So again, being the unit circle, we know that this is going to be a radius of 1. But I want to show you something really, really cool. Do you remember a squared plus b squared equals c squared? Can I show you something just amazing here? The actual equation of the circle is based on Pythagoras. You take the x coordinate and square it. You take the y coordinate and square it. That works out to be the radius squared. Did you know that? Oh my gotcha, you can't be serious. I am totally serious. Case in point, if you've got a radius of 3 and you want the equation of this, all you have to do is go x squared plus y squared equals to the radius squared. So you get x squared plus y squared equals to 9. That is a circle, boom, boom, on the axis with a radius of 3, and it'll go all the way around. Case in point, look at this. What if you want a radius of 10? 10 squared works out to be 100. So this equation would be x squared plus y squared equals to 100. And you could go and say, okay, there's my beautiful little circle, and it's going to have a radius of 10 all the way around. And there are some calculators out there that allow you to put the x squared and y squared in there and draw the graph for you. Right? Your TI-83 doesn't, unfortunately. That's kind of a drawback of it. Everything's got to be y equals 2. But now, let's take this one more step. We're talking about the unit circle. We're talking about a radius of 1. What's 1 squared? 1. So guess what? The equation of a unit circle is x squared plus y squared equals to 1. Oh my goodness, this is going to make things so much easier. Oh, this is going to be tremendous. Case in point, look. If you think about this then, since this is a radius of 1, x squared, which is this unit, y squared, which is that unit, there's your x, there's your y, there's your Pythagorean triangle with its beautiful 90 degrees right there. And if you think about it then, the coordinate is going to be your x coordinate. This coordinate up is going to be your y coordinate. There's your point on the unit circle. So if you think about it, as long as you can put in a value of x and square it, and a value of y and square it, and it equals 1, that proves that that's a point in the circle. What am I talking about? Look at this. Take a look. To determine if this point right here is on the unit circle, we check to see if it satisfies this equation, x squared plus y squared equals to 1. So let's put it in there. You know that this coordinate right here, there's the x coordinate. There's the y coordinate. Chuck it into the formula. See if it works. Watch. 1/2 squared plus root 3 over 2 all squared. I hope this equals 1. Oh my goodness. Well, 1/2 squared is a quarter, right? Plus, okay, root 3 over 2 squared. Root 3 over 2 squared is multiplied by root 3 over 2. Root 3 over root 3, multiply that together is root 9, which is just plain old 3. 2 times 2 is 4. So that works out to be 3/4. Check this out. 1/4 and 3/4 is 4/4, which equals to 1. It works. This, in fact, is a point on the unit circle. That's what this is all about here, folks, is we're going to start looking at some really important points on the unit circle. Now, before we do that, let's learn a little bit more. Check this question out. All right? What if I give you a point? What if I say the point on this unit circle starts with an x coordinate of 3/4? Well, let's think about it. Where is 3/4 on the axis? Okay, well, if you remember, this is, in fact, just a unit circle. So that distance from here to here is 1. Okay, that's 1. But now, where is 3/4 in this mess? Well, 3/4 would be about here. So think about it. 3/4, there's a point right there. Oh, so we can find that that x-axis is 3/4. Y, I don't know, but here's the beauty of a unit circle. The radius is 1. So we can actually find that. But hold it. Is that the only point? Look, this is 3/4. There's a point there at 3/4, but guess what? There's a point down here at 3/4 as well. Oh my goodness. Now, those two circles, or those two triangles, I should say, are going to be the same because it's on the unit circle. So that being 1 and this being 3/4 is going to be fine. Okay, that's going to give you this height, and that being 1 and that being 3/4, they're going to still have the same height. These two heights are going to be the same. The only difference is this coordinate is going to have a positive 3/4 x and a positive value for y, whereas this one down here is going to have a positive 3/4 for x, but it's going to have a negative coordinate for y. Okay, well, wait, before we start jumping to conclusions, let's go back and let's do this one more time and let's find that value for y, okay? Well, 3/4 is out to about, let's say about here approximately. Let's find this point first. Doop, there it is. There's your 3/4. Let's find this y coordinate. Well, the nice thing is a squared plus b squared equals to c squared, but wait a second. Let's be smart here. We're talking the unit circle now. There's no more a squared plus b squared equals c squared. What we have to remember is that's the x coordinate. That's x squared. That's the y coordinate. That's y squared. And it's a circle and it's the unit circle, so that all equals to 1. So, okay, with x being 3/4, let's pop that in there, plus y squared equaling to 1. Watch what we're going to do. We're going to take y squared. You're going to take 1 minus 3/4 squared. Well, that's easy. So y squared works out to be 1 minus 9/16. Now, think about this. What's 1 in terms of a common denominator? Too easy. That's going to be 16/16 minus 9/16. Y squared works out to be, you got it, it's going to be 7/16, right? Square root, y works out to be root 7/4. There's your coordinate. But you know and I know, look how important it is to remember the square root principle, plus or minus. Yes. So in this coordinate here then, we'll have the x coordinate of 3/4 plus your root 7/4. This coordinate down here, based on the same distance in the x, is still going to be 3/4, but it's now going to be your minus root 7/4. There's your coordinates of those 2 points on the unit circle. Neato, isn't it? Yeah, I love this kind of stuff. Okay, so let's go out to the next one. Check this out. Okay, this now says you got a y coordinate here. You have a y coordinate of 1/2, okay? So we're going to do the exact same thing here, right? Put the y coordinate at minus, says y coordinate of the point of the unit circle is at minus 1/2. So y coordinate means minus 1/2. Well, it's about halfway, looks like about there. So what coordinate are we talking about? Are we talking about this one over here? Or are we talking about this one over there? We're actually talking about both of them. Okay, so let's find those 2x coordinates. All right, here we go. X squared, because remember, this is based on, again, the unit circle, right? Now, here's something that's important. Listen to this very carefully. All of these angles have to be reference angles, okay? So that's the x, not this. That's not the x. That's the x. There's the y here, right? Based on the reference angle to the x-axis. So we're talking about that one, okay? So x squared plus y squared equals to 1. X squared plus y squared is minus 1/2 squared equals to 1. So the minus 1/2 negative is gone, making this x squared plus 1/4 equals to 1. Let's finish it off over here. You know that it's x squared. You're going to subtract the quarter. Okay, 1 minus 1/4. Of course, this is going to be, yep, you got it. This is going to be 4/4 minus the 1/4 gives you 3/4, right? Square root, you're going to have x equals to plus or minus the square root of 3/2. That's how it works. I mean, it's so incredibly cool. So your x value then going this direction is going to be positive root 3/2. And of course, negative 1/2. And then going in this direction is going to be over to here, down to here. So there's your negative root 3/2, negative 1/2. So this point here, negative root 3/2, negative 1/2. And that's how you do those things. Isn't that really cool? It's all based on Pythagoras, something that you learned all the way back in grade 8.